Hey guys, Josh from soccerreviewsforyou.com, bringing you my review plus on-feet video of the Nike Magista Obra in the latest Radiant Reveal Pack colorway. Now inside the box they do include a string bag to go along with the shoes themselves. The string bag is black in color with black strings. It features a white Nike swoosh on one side and white Nike football branding on the other. Other than that, all you're going to find inside the box, as you guys can see, are the shoes themselves. So we'll get these guys out of the box really quickly, and we'll take a closer look at what is a really unique colorway of the Nike Magista Obra. So here they are, guys. Of course, in today's video, we are going to take a detailed look at the colorway itself, talk tech specs, general performance, take a look at the weight of the shoe, as well as take a look at how these things fit and feel on feet. So if you are interested in learning more about this particular colorway of the Obra, please stick around and watch the entire video. If you're interested in a pair for yourself, be sure to check out the review page on my website. That'll be the very first link down below in the description of this video. On that page, you'll find Buy It Now links with exclusive SR4U coupon codes where you'll be able to pick these up below their normal $275 retail price. So again, if you're interested in a pair, first link down below, go ahead and check it out. And with that being said, let's get right into the review. To start things off, let's take a closer look at the colorway. Now the Radiant Reveal Pack, they pretty much all feature a white and black base and normally have a pink, orange, and Volt yellow accent. The Magista line, for whatever reason, basically takes away the orange. So there's one less color on the shoe, although it's not suffering from a lack of color in my opinion. So as you guys can see, you have a black base to the upper, like I mentioned. You have a Nike skin covering going all the way around the outside edge. So that is kind of your solid white Nike skin. And then of course the actual Flyknit is a black base with pink accents on the lateral side. You can see it eventually transitions to Volt yellow, where the medial side is Volt as the accent, made out of actual Flyknit material. The Nike skin covering, though, is what gives the shoe its unique look. It's a translucent Nike skin, but it has this frosted finish to it, and then as you guys can see from the actual white, they have this printed on pattern where basically it's just little white patterns. I'm not even sure how to describe it. I'm not even sure how close I can get, but if I stay still, you can probably see the pattern. And it's basically just kind of fading from white to completely translucent, which gives it this really, really interesting effect. I really like how these look, but let me know your opinion on them down below in the comment section. So you can see you have the fade from solid white to a little bit less white and then eventually completely clear, where obviously the pink and the Volt yellow is shining through pretty much all the way through the actual pattern, which again just gives this shoe a very, very unique look. And the combination of pink and Volt yellow with the black and white base, I think actually looks very, very good. Black laces on the shoe, obviously, black swoosh with a white outline on both sides. The collar is solid black with the mid layer of actual Flyknit being solid black here, but pink right here, which is kind of unusual. Normally you have the same accent in both places. Pink along the top of the collar, obviously. Magista branding in white going down the back of the collar. Solid black heel counter, as you guys can see. And then the sole plate's pretty much all black in color with a little bit of pink accent in some of the studs that are actually translucent. You just see the pink there on the inside. So that's pretty much it as far as the colorway is concerned. Really, really cool looking shoe. Let me know your opinion on it down below in the comment section. Do you like how these look? Why or why not? And with that being said, let's move on to the tech specs so we can learn a little bit more about the overall performance. Performance-wise, the Magista Obra is pretty well proven at this point. We're going to go over all the tech specs that you should know in this video, but if you are looking for more detailed information on the performance, I have a playtest video up on my channel as well as a traction test video, so I'll leave annotations to both on screen. You can go ahead and check them out if you're interested in seeing these shoes in action. So with this shoe, obviously the main reason why you'd buy it is one for the Flyknit upper and two for the mid-cut design. The Flyknit upper on the Obra in comparison to the Superfly 4 is a little bit thicker and definitely more dense in terms of its overall construction. So the touch you get on the ball is still what I would describe as fairly thin, but not necessarily a barefoot feel. You have more thickness to the actual Flyknit itself. It's more tightly knit in terms of the actual pattern, and you do have a padded liner on the inside as well. So while it is thin, while it's still soft and flexible and does offer that sock-like sensation on your foot, it still does offer that little bit of padded sensation, almost like what you would get from a leather shoe. So it's a really interesting feel, but the feel is very, very good, I would say, and also very consistent across the entire foot, which is something you'll find with the Superfly as well, just in basically a thinner variation. As far as structure is concerned, obviously you get a lot of the structure from the actual Flyknit itself, but also it does have Brio cables running from the base of the sole into the lacing system like you have on the Superfly, but because of the actual Flyknit pattern, it's hidden within it. So the cables are there, you definitely do feel them when you pull the laces tight, and because of that cable system, this shoe is equally as responsive as what you get from the Superfly, just with a different fit and a different feel. The Nike skin covering does give you a little bit of extra grip on the ball. For the most part though, it definitely isn't what I would consider to be sticky. And of course you do have ACC, all conditions control, acting as your wet control element on this shoe as well. The laces are slightly off-centered, pushed to the medial side as you guys can see, but nothing that really feels abnormal the first time that you wear them. The mid-cut aspect, this is something that there's a lot of misconceptions around. There's no ankle support provided by this collar. There's really no performance benefit to it at all. It's there, one, for looks, and two, to change up the way the shoe fits and feels in the heel area, something we'll talk about more a little bit later in the video. But again, no actual performance benefit to the shoe being mid-cut. On the inside, there is a smooth synthetic leather liner with some padding, not a lot. It's the one aspect of this shoe that does give people some problems, which again, we'll talk about in just a second. The insole, fully removable, mesh liner on top, perforations throughout. It's just a single layer of this yellow foam, nothing fancy, but it does get the job done. You have an external plastic heel counter, which is really nice. And then you do have your compressed nylon outsole that is not too thick, not too thin. Looks a lot like what you get from the Tiempo line, but a little bit stiffer overall. Definitely not too stiff though. And then of course you get the Magista stud pattern, which again, very much like what you get from the Tiempo line, just with all conical studs, mainly in the heel, as opposed to having a kind of a combination of bladed and conical. So the conical studs, while they're traditional in shape, they have a fairly narrow profile and are decently long as well, so they dig into the ground quite nicely and provide pretty good traction while still maintaining a good amount of maneuverability, as you would expect from basically a perfectly round stud shape. So the overall traction on firm natural grass is very good. And again, I think for most people, traction is not one aspect of this shoe that people tend to complain about. So that's pretty much it as far as basic tech specs that you should know about this particular model. And overall, the Obra is a very, very good shoe if it has what you're looking for. In terms of weight, the Obra is actually a pretty light shoe. So I'm going to weigh this pair for you today in real time using this scale just so we can see exactly what they weigh. Keep in mind this is a brand new pair in a size 9.5 US. I'm going to throw them on the scale, and you can see that they weigh in at 7.3 ounces, the equivalent of 206 grams. Now, despite the Obra definitely looking a lot more significant in its overall design when compared to the Superfly 4, in the same size and condition, the weight is actually the same as well, or at least very, very, very similar. So if you are trying to decide between the Superfly 4 and the Obra, the weight is basically the same. So weight should never be the deciding factor. And again, it really depends on what type of feel that you're looking for. If you like the feel of the Obra, just know they certainly aren't going to weigh you down. All right, so here is a look at the Obras on feet. On my left foot, I have the stock black laces that come with the shoes. And on my right foot, I have a pair of black with white dots SR4U replacement laces. If you're interested in a pair of replacement laces for yourself, the website to go to is www.sr4ulaces.com. You find a direct link to that website down below in the description of this video. Now, in terms of how these things fit and feel on feet, the Obra is actually a pretty comfortable shoe from right out of the box. The upper is nicely padded, but still thin enough and soft enough to where it does have that sock-like flexibility and just general softness on your foot. It really does fit quite well. Not quite as tight as the Superfly, but definitely still a snug fit across the entire foot. The one aspect of all the mid-cut models from Nike that will give you some trouble at first, or most people at least, is the heel area. It does have this stiffer sensation to it due to the mid-cut design. It just takes some getting used to. As long as you break them in slowly, don't wear them straight into a game or straight into a free kick session or something like that, you shouldn't have too many problems with them. So again, as long as you take your time, the break-in process shouldn't be too difficult. Width-wise, it is going to offer a tighter fit, but it certainly isn't what I would consider to be a narrow shoe. It's going to be suitable for most foot types. It's not going to stretch very much. Keep that in mind. You do have those Brio cables running through the majority of the foot. So for the most part, the way it fits out of the box is the way it's going to fit for its entire lifespan. And as long as you don't have excessively wide feet, these should fit you just fine. As far as sizing is concerned, they run about a half size small. The entire Magista line does. So instead of wearing my usual size 9 US, I bumped it up to a 9.5, and the fit and the length is absolutely perfect. So if you are looking to order a pair for yourself, I would strongly recommend going a half size up in order to achieve the best possible fit. All right, guys, that is it for my review of the Radiant Reveal Nike Magista Obra. If you guys are interested in more info on this shoe, be sure to check out the review page on my website. That'll be the very first link down below in the description of this video. On that page, you'll find a detailed written review, high quality images of the shoe that I actually took myself. That'll give you a better idea as to how they actually do look in person, as well as buy it now links with exclusive SR4U coupon codes, where you'll be able to pick these guys up below their normal $275 retail price. So again, if you're interested in a pair, first link down below, go ahead and check it out. If you have any questions at all regarding the Obra, leave them down below in the comments, and I definitely will get an answer out to you. If you enjoyed today's video, found it helpful and informative, be sure to support it with a like. Subscribe if you haven't already for daily videos on all the latest and greatest soccer gear. You can find all my social media information linked in the description as well. And other than that, guys, hope you enjoyed today's video, and as always, thanks for watching.